Don't stop.
Hi, thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything in a Big Gay podcast. Today is Friday, and I am bringing you my latest gay bit. Every Friday, if you have not got enough gayness from my podcast, I'll make sure to bring it to you in this Friday episode. So today I want to start with a question. I want to ask a simple question, and it's pretty easy, but I want you to think about this. And when I ask this question, I want you to think about it and give me an honest answer. And I see videos like this on social media and stuff, and I always think it's brilliant. The guy who started this, it's brilliant, but here's my question. Are you actually happy or are you just busy? Because those things are not the same. They are completely different. And whenever I would watch these videos on TikTok, there'd be times where I would think about it, am I happy? Because basically what would happen is a guy would walk up to somebody randomly on the street with a microphone and ask the person, are you happy? And without even giving them a chance. And a lot of times the people would say no, that they're not. And it was really kind of sad. I remember there was this one guy, he was so cute. He was driving a nice car. He was at a gas station putting gas in his car. And the guy walks into him and goes, are you happy? And he goes, I'm not. And he was so honest and it was just so heartbreaking. And I feel lately, especially in our community, the LGBTQ plus community, that we've gotten very good at just being busy. Maybe not just the LGBTQ plus community, but everywhere. All my friends, straight, gay, lesbian, bi, trans, whatever. Everybody is just always booked, overscheduled. Everybody's out every weekend trying to get stuff done, always going somewhere, always doing something. Everybody's calendar is full. I have friends where I have to book time in their calendar to even give them a call once a month. And social life feels like it's going great. It's good and everything. You're outside because it's springtime now and it's almost summer and you're out doing your thing and the weather's gorgeous and yeah, but there's all this shit that's kind of happening in people's heads and that they're thinking about, all the craziness happening in this world. But then here's my thing. So me and my friend Mandy we've traveled a lot together and gone on vacations. Every year we go on 1 to 2 vacations every year. And so we share a hotel room together and she always has to have noise or a TV on or listening to music or something. And I asked her one day, I'm why can't you just sit there and be silent? And she said something pretty amazing to me. She said, which made me really think. She said, because if I'm quiet, then I have to think about things. And I don't want to. I don't want to think about things. And it just made so much sense to me, even though I need quiet still. Even though I would like to be in that mind space where, no, I don't want to be in that mind space, but I would like to not overthink things the way I do. Because when everything does get quiet and when you're home alone and there's no plans, that's when all these real feelings and questions start to kind of show up. And I've overanalyzed myself. Am I actually happy or am I just really good at kind of staying distracted? Which is what I think my friend Mandy is doing, what a lot of people do. Not that she's not happy, because I think she is very happy now, but let's be honest, being busy is easy. You can fill your time with anything. I think, you can do brunches on the weekend with friends. You can go out to dinners. There's events. You can take trips. You can do so much. And conversations that don't really mean anything happen a lot. My husband, Andrew, now is kind of sick of going to dinners with friends and he has no desire to go to bars because he thinks it's just a same old routine, the same old shit that happens. And that's why I go out. Every Thursday, I go out with friends. We go to a dinner, then we go out for some drinks, and that's my Thursday night out because he doesn't want to do it. And he just thinks it's a waste of time. He wants to do an activity. And I asked him, what's an activity? An activity to him is, he always says bowling, but who likes, I don't really love bowling. I'm not a good, it's fine once in a while. But I said axe throwing. Let's go axe throwing because that's was the new thing a couple of years ago. And I've done it once and I liked it and I had I was actually good at it. But he wants to do an activity. He doesn't want to just go sit at dinner. He can't sit through a dinner that's more than an hour and a half now because he's so ADHD. that's him. That's how he is. I love going to dinner. I love having some wine, sitting there having a cappuccino afterwards, having a martini before we get the meal, going out for drinks afterwards, meeting new people. All that is what I love. And he's not in it. He's not with it. He wants to go to bed by 9 o'clock every night. I'm like, if it's before midnight for me, that's early. I mean, yeah. I mean, no judgment. We all have our own way of doing things. Maybe whenever I'm older, like he is, not that he's so much older than me, but he is a few years older, maybe I will start to slow down and feel that way too. Hopefully not though, because I want to be social forever. So, but I think that gay people, LGBTQ plus people, queer people, they all have maybe a little bit different social lives than like a person, like uh, a straight man and woman that have a family and kids because they can't. If you have family and kids, you can't go out, as much. You got to like get a babysitter and plan a date night and stuff. I think some people feel guilty leaving their kids because they love their kids so much, and that's great. I don't know. I think that you maybe lose yourself in your kids if you have kids, which isn't a bad thing because you should be doing everything for your kids. I think that's amazing. And I've thought about kids also, not in the last 6 months, but before that, I was thinking, like, God, do we miss? I mean, we missed the boat to have kids. Everybody's like, oh, it's never too late. You could adopt or whatever, but no, I'm too tired now. I can't take care of kids, but I do actually like kids a lot. I have two goddaughters who I love. Don't get to see them enough, even though they were like only 15 minutes away. But everybody is busy. So I'll just kind of say, like, whenever there's a point where you're like, oh God, I have so much on my plate, I can't slow down. And that's the point where you have to kind of pause and ask yourself, am I living or am I just constantly like moving and doing the next thing, checking things off my list? I am a big note, not note, task writer. Like I need to write out all my tasks in my notes section of my phone. I go in, I delete it whenever I get it done. I have like 14 things I was supposed to do today, and I've done like 3 of them. And all these things kind of show up at the end of the day when I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't do this. And I forgot to add this to my list. So I start doing that. And we'll be right back. Okay, now back to the show. And, that's just what happens. I, at one point, put a piece of paper next to my bed with a pen. I'd write it down. Now I'm putting it in my phone so I can carry it with me wherever I go and see what I need to do. And I look at it 20 times a day. Yeah. And I think that's the other reason why I like to go out and do things at nighttime because it kind of just like, it's not the same old routine. You never know who you're going to meet when you go to a bar with friends. You never know what conversations are going to happen. It's really nice. It's just the people walking into a different space could be different every time you walk in. And it's just something that I love. But let's be real for 1 second. How many times have you gone out, not because you really wanted to, but because you didn't want to stay at home and sit alone with your thoughts? But I also make plans. I'm horrible at making plans. And then the night of, there's times, Thursday nights I'm good. Like I look forward to Thursday night dinners and drinks out. But we have, God, this is so embarrassing to say, but I'll say it. Me and my husband have bought so many concert tickets and tickets to see shows in Boston. And the day of, sometimes 2 hours before, one of us will go to the other and say, do you really feel like going tonight? And I thought about it all day, like, God, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to go out. I don't feel like getting dressed. I'd rather just sit home and watch a movie, order dinner in. And yeah, that's what happens. And we have just a few months ago, we canceled. There was a show I really wanted to see so badly, and we canceled. We didn't cancel. We just like lost the money. We lost probably like $500 for the 2 tickets that we bought for this show we were going to see. And I looked forward to it for months. And now our new rule is we are not buying any tickets for anything local anymore. We're only buying things for, we have to go to another city. Then we have to get a hotel and like get on a train or drive there or plane or whatever and go there And then we know if we've done all that effort, we will go see the show because I refuse to spend another dollar on a show or a concert or whatever locally and then just miss it. Just waste the money. Just a few weeks ago, we bought movie tickets. I buy them on Fandango, and thank God you can cancel and get a refund because we have done this a million times too. We were going to go see The Devil Wears Prada 2. 2 hours before, my husband comes in and goes, "Do you really want to see this movie today? It's like, it's Saturday and like, wouldn't it be nice to kind of just like not do that?" I'm like, "All right, let's not go." But anyway, it ended up being kind of I wish we did go because, yeah, anyway, we didn't go. But when everything is kind of getting quiet and you have time to yourself, there's a lot of things there's times you can't avoid those thoughts that come in your head. And for me, it's just like over and over and over. I start thinking about, I just think of the weirdest shit. I'll think about somebody from elementary school that I haven't seen or thought about since the third grade that they'll just pop in my mind. I'm like, I wonder where they are. Why do I do that? It's just like my brain and mind is going a million miles an hour. Then I'll start thinking about my friends and I'll start worrying about my friends or something. I'm like, God, are they happy in their relationship? Or is my friend going to get a relationship? And I'll start spinning out of control, like overthinking things for my friends. And yeah, I don't know. This is the big one. I'll get a song in my head and I'll keep singing the song over and over in my head. I'll even start saying it out loud. Because what I read online, whenever this happens to you, you're supposed to just sing the entire song in your head or sing it out loud and then it will go away. That does not work because I have done that. So I try not to listen to any music before I go to sleep because if I do, that song will be in my head and I will not fall asleep. Yeah, just part of what's happening in my crazy mind. I also think that there's, platforms like Instagram and other social media that have kind of turned our lives into like a highlight reel in a way where you see that everybody's out, everybody's traveling, everybody's surrounded by different people. Everybody looks like they're having the best time. Sometimes if I don't go and I see pictures, I'm like, oh, I have FOMO over this. And I look at that like, why do I feel like I have FOMO for not going there? Like I had fun with them last week. Why do I need to be there this week? But here's the truth. A lot of people, they're asking the exact same questions or thinking the exact same things that I am asking today. And we'll be right back. Okay, and now back to the show. And they are going through with their heads, and their heads are having these same thoughts. Maybe not about their friend that they had in third grade, but similar things, like crazy things. And I'll just say that I don't think I have an issue or I'm damaged. I think that just my mind can't shut down. But I am reading this book from an interview that I did a couple months ago from this guy named Dr. Bradley Nelson, who says that we all have like these energy traumas in our body and to remove them. And then it like kind of clears things up. And not necessarily that I'm having that thought of my third grade friend because it's a trauma, but maybe something is like bringing that into my mind. I don't know. I just started reading the book, so I can't say any more about it. But his interview was amazing. And so I bought the books because I'm like, if I can start healing myself and heal others or something, how amazing would that be? But I have friends that have plans every single night of the week and they start to feel empty still. And then you can look at your life and like, are you living your best life? Like, I think that's am I living my best life? Is there something missing? But there's not. Like, I'm really actually happy. I'm happy where my life is. I'm happy I don't have a corporate job right now. I'm happy that I'm doing my podcast and interviewing the people that I want to. I'm happy with my friendship group. I have a great group of friends. My friend circle is growing now. It was shrinking. I think for a 53-year-old gay man, your circle doesn't usually start to grow again, but mine is growing, and I'm really happy with that. And I have so many different groups of friends and different kinds of friends also. And I think if we ever did have like a big party or renewed our vows and had a big wedding, it would be interesting to see all these different types of people get together. I can't even imagine what it'd be like because they're all so, so different. And a lot of them have never met. Like, it's so crazy. But we put together a wedding list. I don't know. We thought about having a wedding on our 20th anniversary. So now we've been together over 27 years. And we talked about doing like we were married, but like having a wedding because we just like did a wedding in P Town with a few friends. And started writing down a list with all of our friends and family and stuff. It was like over 300 people. It's like a wedding like that for what my type of party that I would want to have would be like $300,000 or $400,000. And it's just like that is like a huge down payment for a house. For some people, that is a whole house, depending on where you live. But I just want to say, like, how many people can just sit with you with no distraction and also have a real conversation? Can you do that with all your friends or all your coworkers? And I mean, I cannot even watch a movie hardly or a television show with my husband, just laying in bed watching TV together without me. I had to like take my phone and put it where it's out of reach because I'm so distracted by things. And then at nighttime, and this usually happens on every Sunday night, we're watching Euphoria or whatever the Sunday night show is that we're watching. And I like start thinking about all the stuff I didn't do on Sunday. And then I'll get up and I'm like, oh, I didn't open these Amazon boxes. And I'll start opening the Amazon boxes, or I'll start folding clothes that were left in the dryer. I don't know. I'll just do all this stuff. And this is what my husband calls me. He goes, oh, you're being busy drag queen now, aren't you? Like, he goes, the night's over for us. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just going to do this. I mean, like, one time there was something that we bought from Amazon. I'm trying to think what it even was. And I started building it. It wasn't anything major. Oh, it was a cat scratcher thing that you have to build. It takes like 15 minutes to build. But I'm sitting there on the bed, like building this thing as we're trying to watch TV. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you're busy drag queen. Like, just lay here, put your phone away, watch this show. But he's like, he's busy drag queen too, because he has his phone and he constantly wants to talk through any movie or show. And we cannot get through a show. I'm like, Andrew, like, you have to stop being chatty Cathy. Like, please, just like, let's pay attention. I can't pay attention to you and this show. So just stop talking through the rest. We only have 15 minutes left. You can make it. And then his other thing is that he wants to go on his phone and he has 1,000 questions about everything. He wants to know where the movie was made, who is that actor that's in here. They look familiar. I know them. Yeah, he's got a million questions. But, we stay busy, we stay distracted, we can stay entertained because all those feelings that come up can be, messy if you kind of take a moment to kind of just sit there and think. And I think that's why maybe all of us we keep so busy and stuff. You can't avoid those hard feelings without also kind of dealing with some of the good ones sometimes. And so I overthink those things. Like, if I have like a bad feeling or a bad thought, then I think about something great and I'm just kind of back and forth. And so if you're ever feeling a bit off or a little disconnected and there's something that's missing that you're feeling, it might not just because something is wrong. It might just be because you haven't given yourself the space to feel anything at all. And I was there at one point and I get it. Like, life is so much right now for so many people. The world is so loud. There's always something happening. So, of course, we need to distract ourselves. We need to stay busy. But at some point, we have to come back to ourselves. That's what I think. And that doesn't mean you have to stop having fun. It doesn't mean you have to stop going out. It just means you need like a good balance. And when I say a good balance, so like for me, I go out like 2 nights a week and do something, where my husband goes out no times a week. So he needs a balance. I would like to add another night and go out 3 nights a week to dinner, 1 night with friends and for drinks, and another 2 nights out to dinner, like not order in, but actually go out to dinner. And my husband needs the balance where he will actually want to go out to dinner, or we go out and just do something. He wants to just stay home and order in or cook together or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. We all need those moments where we're not performing, we're not distracted, we're not trying to fill a space or a void or our thoughts. And That may sound simple, but I don't think it really is for a lot of people. I think it's hard for people to slow down because you have always things about your work in your mind, your family, bills, money, the future. What am I doing next? What do I need to do around the house? And so ask yourself, what do you actually enjoy? What actually makes you feel good? Not on the surface, but for real. Because being busy, that's easy for everybody. Being fulfilled, that takes intention. That's what I think. And I think that there's a lot of us and a lot of you listening probably don't feel fulfilled in your life. It takes choosing things that you're actually aligned with, people that you're actually aligned with. It takes saying no to things that you don't want to do and saying them up front. And you need to be honest about those things. Like, I don't want to do that. Even if it's something that looks different and fun, it's something that you've never done. If you really aren't into it, then just say that I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a part of that. Or I don't want to go out with those people to dinner. Or I don't want to see them. My husband is really good at that. When we go places or I make plans with friends, if he doesn't want to see those friends for whatever reason, he's like, I don't want to go. I don't care about seeing them tonight or right now or whatever. So he's good at that, but he needs to like balance that out where being able to go out and be a little more social. Because at the end of the day, it's really not about how full your calendar is or how many friends you have or if your life just kind of feels full with everything, you feel satisfied. It's not about those things. It's about really being happy. And I think if you're happy and you feel accomplished in a way, and yeah, I think that those are all the things that I think that are the core of what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be happy. They want to feel like they're on solid ground. They want to feel heard also. And I think there's a lot of people also that are very lonely in today's world. I have some friends that are lonely, and it would be hard to be single, I think now. I would be a horrible single person. But there's a lot of loneliness in the world. There's a lot of stress in the world happening with all this crazy shit happening, not just in this country, but just across the whole planet. It's just really, it's a lot. So anyway, I feel like I rambled a little bit today, but it's one of the things that I have been thinking about just sometimes I want to slow down. Sometimes I want to go faster. Sometimes I need more to do. Sometimes I have way too much to do. And not having a corporate job anymore and being able to focus on my podcast, I really do look back and say, how did I do a full-time job? And how did I do 2 full-time podcasts at the same time? I had no life back then because I was taking all my time after work doing my podcast and on the weekends doing my podcast. So I never really had any time to myself. And now that I actually do have some time to like slow down and think, these are the things I think about. And you get to hear them on my podcast. So this episode today wasn't super gay, so sorry I didn't give you enough gay in the gay bit, but I promise next week I will come up with something that's much, much more gay. And so hold on to next week. Next Friday, come back for a gay bit. Thanks for listening. I'll be back on Sunday with a brand new guest for you. Thanks for listening.